Hello, it's John here for another quick tutorial. So today we're going to be making a coil VFX path. So what we want is like a light to run up a path, and hopefully you'll be seeing the final version now. Cool, so let's get started. The first thing we need to do is create ourselves a mesh. So to do so, what we're going to do is we are going to go to a spline. So I find splines are going to be the easiest way of creating what we're sort of looking for. And to save a bit of time, I'm just going to use a standard helix. Cool. I'm just going to Alt W that so I can full screen it. And let's just play with this a bit more. Maybe we'll just go 0.8 on both of these. And height, let's give it a whole bunch of height, and we're going to want a whole bunch more turns. Okay, so now what's going to happen is this right here, we're going to want an effect to go round and up this. Let's keep going, and I'm just going to give it a bit more bias towards the bottom, so it's going to look like it's going to do a bit more at the bottom first before it sort of flies up to the top. And I'm fine with clockwise, and maybe I want a bit more at the bottom. So yeah, that should look quite good in theory. Cool. Alright, so what we're going to do next is we're actually going to want a mesh to wrap around this, because we're actually going to be applying this to a mesh. So let's create ourselves a cylinder. And don't want snapping on, so just want a really tiny cylinder. So let's zoom in and check this out, and let's make it smaller. Like I said, this really wants to be quite small, and get rid of all those height segments to keep it easy. Really pull down the sides on this as well, because we're not going to see them. And this should help keep the poly count down as well. And what we're going to do is we want snapping now. We're just going to put this right at the bottom of our spline. So just going to position it right at the bottom so it looks like it's connected at the start. And it doesn't have to be perfect in the middle. That should sort of do for now. Cool. Alright, so what we're going to do is quickly throw ourselves an edit poly on here and grab ourselves the face. And from here we're going to find an option that says extrude along spline. I'm going to press the settings on it, and we're going to hit this and click our spline. And it looks kind of gross at the moment, but once we start throwing this up, I'm going to hit 7 as well so we can see how many poles we got. And you see like the direct correlation between that. This is just going to be like sort of how smooth it is, and yeah, and how much it will match. So that looks like it should be smooth enough. And just hit this button. If yours doesn't directly go across the spline, do that. And 600, 606, that's fine. That's not computational too heavy. So I'm more or less happy with this, but I always find, and I'm by no means I claim to be a master of 3D, but if I select this whole thing and let's go to unwrap and open our unwrap editor, it never really works out as well as you sort of want it to when you do this. So for example, if I flatten it, yeah, that's alright. Let's do a side by side. Nope, let's try the back and top and bottom. Yeah, that's alright. You know what, let's do a cylinder. and we'll align it. So we'll do a planar and we'll align it to RX. Awesome. That should sort of work. I'm kind of surprised that worked first time. So note what we're going to be doing is we're going to be running a texture up here, and because of the bias it'll look a bit weird. So I mean, in theory, what we'd sort of want to do, let's just fold this a sec, we'd sort of want a little bit more space here, so if it was like a standard coil. So let's just close this, reopen it, and let's just grab the whole thing and scale it down a quick sec and move it up to the top. So like these ones down here, so what I'm going to try and do is just pull these down so I get a little bit more space between them if I can. More so this bottom selection. I'm just alt clicking to sort of deselect these ones here. And same thing, just you know what, now yeah, that should be alright. Like I say, if we didn't do the bias, if we unwrapped it before, it'd probably be better, but that'll do for now. So what we're going to do is we're going to no, we're not. What we're going to do is we're going to just save this and make our texture. So we're going to save this as, you can say this is an OBJ or FBX, whichever, and then we're going to jump across into Photoshop. So once we're inside Photoshop, we just want to quickly make the texture for this. So I'm going to just fill it black by Alt tabbing, Alt backspace, sorry, and create a new layer, which is just going to be a gradient box. So grab ourselves a box like this, and it's going to want a 3-point gradient on it, black to white to black. Cool, and we could tweak the opacity as well. Oh shit, maybe we shouldn't bother. Nah, that'll be fine. Maybe scale it a little bit more down. Cool. And once we've got that, let's hit enter. Oh no, it's got a stroke on it. Why have you got a stroke? There you go. Cool. So that's going to give a much sort of softer effect. And we want to start this right at the bottom, down here, and save this as a PNG. So we're going to save this as a PNG, get the FBX, and we're going to jump inside Unreal. Okay, so all I've done is I've just imported my coil and I've imported my gradient. So let's put this out into scene. It's not as big as I was expecting it to be. That'll be better. And we're going to need to send this into a material. So I'm just going to create a material, which we're going to call this Glow Coil Mat. And let's open that up. So with our Glow Coil Mat, we've got our texture, which has just got the little bit at the bottom. And the main thing what we're going to use here is going to be our panner, which we're just going to pan up, let's just say 1, and see how that looks. And we don't want to work with a base color, and we want to actually blend a color into this. So most of things like this you probably want is going to be electric blue. So let's multiply U and U. And let's expand that. and then we're going to want to multiply this because it's going to go to our emissive. And let's multiply by, say, 14. And hit save and wait for that to load. Cool, so as you can see we've got our effect working out. Let's see if when we apply this to this, if that works. It's looking pretty cool, right? We can already sort of see it running up the effect, but we don't really want to see the coil, and the whole idea is we're using black. So let's set this to additive and hit save. And there we go. What we've done now is we've got this running across a nice spline. It looks pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. Let's bump up that emissive even more. So I'm just going to set you a bit darker, and you are going to be 24. Crazy. And let's see how it looks now. Looks pretty cool, right? Pretty cool. So as you can see, oh my god, it's going to be impossible to select again. As you can see, we've got the whole mesh, but because we're using that additive mix, we can't really see it. But we've got a cool sort of like effect that's running across the path quite nicely. Might fade out the top of it, so it doesn't look like it's running off, but that'll be just loosely be taking this, you know, where we've got the white at the bottom, flipping it upside down, like rotating it 90 degrees, and then, you know, blending that into the mix. But that should you want to. But ultimately, I'm happy with that. We've got a cool effect, and there you go. I hope you have found that useful. Let's see what it looks like in here. Oh my god, it's so hard to reselect. Cool. Yep, thanks for watching, guys. As usual, if you enjoyed this, if you think it's cool, if you learned anything, do subscribe, like, let us know in the comments. It's really helpful. And thanks for watching.